Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Don't forget to thumbs up the video if you like this content. Leave me a comment and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're improving the ride quality of this Roxor. So right now we are going on a pre-install ride. And then we're going to come back on this same path after we put some parts on this thing. Same speed and see how she runs. Alright, here we go. Time to get to it, I guess. I've got a popping noise happening over here on this wheel, so I'm going to jack it up before we even get started on the project and make sure I don't have a wheel bearing going out. I hope not. I have 1,100 miles on this rig, so I hope we don't have a wheel bearing going out. Hey guys, a couple things I forgot to mention. This is a rough country leveling kit we're putting on along with some Bilstein shocks. That's how we're trying to smooth out our ride quality, and I forgot to mention the name of them. Well, she had a little mud on her. Good news is my wheel bearing isn't out. Still nice and tight. Alright, as per the instructions, step one, we're going to remove our brake lines and install the new brake lines. These come with a longer brake line so that whenever you flex, you don't tear out your brake line, I guess. Okay. Alright, so I'm putting this new brake line on, and when you take the old one out, it doesn't tell you anything about putting this insert in here. This one right here. Doesn't say anything about that in the instructions, but I believe that's how this goes. It's the only way you're going to get that brake line to screw into that. So if not, we'll be using that somewhere else, but pretty sure that's what that's for. Alright, now we got to remove the sway bar. Alright, we got our sway bar link out. This brake line looks different than how they have it installed. But next we got to take this shock mount out. Now, like I said in the beginning, we are going to try to make this thing ride better, so we are replacing these factory shocks with factory Bilstein shocks. So hopefully that'll smooth this out a little bit. With this rough country lift, you basically are just relocating your shock mount, I believe. So you're able to reuse your factory shocks. So yeah, hopefully this works well. Alright, since we got the shocks off, next thing we got to do is unbolt the U-bolts to hold the leaf springs on. Now, one thing I did that I would suggest doing, I got my instructions covered in brake oil or brake fluid. I can't see anything. Online they have the instructions, much easier to see, and everything's in color. Alright, well we got the U-bolts removed, or the plate for the U-bolts anyways, so now do it on the other side. Got the U-bolts taken off. Had to get a little creative with some jacks here, but see what the next step on the instructions are. Got the leaf springs out from under it. Now I do have to, basically from what I've gathered, I haven't really read too far ahead in the instructions, but looks like, there's that piece. I've got to put these brackets on the rear where the leaf springs sit. Basically that's going to move my leaf spring down a little bit, like a leaf spring hanger. Got to cut off a couple pieces on the Roxor with a grinder. Basically just some tabs. So this will slide up on there. Then we've got to replace the front shackles and a couple other things, and that's it. So we're over half done. So I'm going to quit for the night, and then we can try to knock this out first thing in the morning. Hopefully we can get that accomplished, because I'm actually going on a trail ride with my buddy Monroe here in a couple days. So I wanted to try to get that on there because if you didn't see on the After Hours channel, we did some trail riding a couple weeks ago right here at the farm. And I flexed right into this fender once, so if you look, that fender is a little bit customized compared to this side. Nice and smooth. So I didn't want to do that again, and I'd already I figured I was going to level it when I got it. I didn't want to actually lift the whole machine up, but maybe the front up a little bit. So that's why we're doing this, especially with the bigger tires. Maybe I could drop the spacers in, I don't know, but we'll see. But anyways, we also, like I said, have the Bilstein shocks to put on, and then that'll be it for this little project for now. Alright guys, we're back out this morning here. First thing we got to do is crawl under the Roxor, and we got to grind a tab off of the leaf spring hanger so we can, I believe, put this up over top of that tab. So now I got to find a grinder. So here's the tab we've got to cut. I started trying to use a cut wheel, but I ended up having to switch to a grinding wheel. Grind this off here smooth, and that thing will slide up on there. Next step is to install this new hanger on the leaf spring mount. At least that's what I'm calling it. It's basically what the leaf spring bolts into on the back end of it. Alright, so there are lefts and rights. We didn't think there were, but basically this is for the right side of the machine. This hex right here is for a bolt to sit in. It's the one that's on that leaf spring. The other end of it is greasable, and you want it on the outside so you can get to it. So try it again. Alright, so now we got to drill a hole through the frame. I just drilled the other side, BJ's drilling this side, but basically that new hanger has to have another extra mounting point. So it's actually not on the frame, it's a tab that hangs down off the frame. So. But you're supposed to use a 7/16 bit. We only have a 1/2 inch, but I think it'll work. Dad's over here working on his rock saw also. Just all sorts of shenanigans happen. And now we're attaching our leaf springs, our rear leaves back. So let's see if we can't mess that up real quick. I have both leaf springs, the back of them attached. We just kind of have them just snug. They're not super tight yet. That way we can still move those. So that's going to be what falls off on my next trail ride right there. That's where that'll happen. Alright, so we just installed new shackles, front shackles. There's the old ones there. These ones are a little longer. So now we got to attach the front leaf spring to there on each side and then proceed to step whatever we're on. Alright, now we got to install our shock relocation bracket. Our shock did mount right there. Set this down. Our shock used to mount right there. Now it's going to mount up here. So that'll help us maintain our factory ride, I guess. Alright, so now we're lowering our axle back down so we can reattach our leaf springs to it. It's actually going way smoother than I was expecting. But we're not even close to done yet, so there's time for it to all fall apart.
Oh, Molly knew this.
Alright, so update. One of the nuts off of the U-bolt was messed up, wouldn't thread on there fine, or very well, so we had to get some replacements. We drove all the way to town thinking that these were metrics. We checked our metric bolt bin, we didn't have anything that would fit it, only to find out that a 1/2 inch fits it just fine. It might be a 13 or a 12.5, but a 1/2 inch fits it well, so that's what we're going with. So I guess if that bolt falls out and the axle falls off, we'll know better. Now we got the axle lowered back onto the leaf springs, tightening that up, and we're out of pieces to put on. So I believe that the only thing we have to do is reconnect our sway bar, tighten everything, or put the wheels back on, drop it, tighten everything up, bleed the brakes. Try to bleed the brakes before we drop it. Actually, put shocks on too. Yeah, we got to put the new shocks on. Now, like I've mentioned, I don't know if I mentioned this before or not, but these Bilsteins, they do not come with this kit. That's a separate add-on. Basically, these are ordered through Mahindra rock saw. They're calibrated for the rock saw, so that is a factory option that I went ahead and figured while we had the whole front end tore apart, we might as well put the shocks on. So after we get the front end back together, we got to jack up the rear end, pull this tire, put new shock on. That shouldn't be too bad. All right, it's shock time. Like I said, the Bilsteins, they can be got through any dealer for Mahindra rock saws. The leveling kit we're putting on, it came from Diesel Freaks. That's where I've been getting a lot of my add-ons that I've been doing. Highly recommend those guys. There's Dad. Looks like he switched to the Gator for now. Uh-oh. Just came out of the crimp on the brake line. Hit him again. Hold on. Alright, so we had a bad brake line from that came with the rough country lift. They had a longer brake line because you're going to have more suspension, more possibility for the suspension to flex. Unfortunately, one of those was bad. We are going to roll with the factory line until they send us a new one. They are going to send us a new one. So their customer service was top notch. Minor setback, but we'll at least be able to get back to, driving. All right, I think we are ready to put the tires on. At least that's what we're going to do. And then we got to replace the back shocks. and then this project will be complete. All right, move all of our jack stands. All right, now we got, like I said, put the Bilsteins on the rear of this, and that's going to be it for today. I do have some other projects we're going to do on this video. For example, have some fender flares. As you can see, the cab fills up with mud anytime you hit mud, and I'm getting tired of washing my windshield. We got a Midland. I don't know if we're going to get that installed tonight. I doubt it. And then there's there's a intake piece that's going to hopefully help us build a little bit more boost. That goes right here. Doubt we're going to get that installed tonight. Alright, so we're under the rock sort. Turns out for the back ones, you don't even have to take the wheels off. You can get to everything pretty much on the ground. So we got one more to go. We got the first back shock on, so yeah, we're just about done now. Alright, so this is where we started this video. We are going the same speed, actually a little bit faster. I mean, you're still feeling the bumps, but the Bilsteins definitely helped. Hey guys, after I got the shocks and leveling kit installed, I realized I didn't do a great side-by-side comparison or good comparison of how much of a difference the shocks made. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to take my Roxor, which obviously has the Bilsteins on it now, and the leveling kit. I'm going to drive it down this bumpy road we have over here at the grain bins. And then I'm going to grab Dad's Roxor later on and run this same road. I'm going to run, let's shoot for 10 miles an hour, and if we can do 10 easily, we'll try for 15. And yeah, we'll see the difference. Now the only thing that's going to be a little inconclusive is we have different tires. I will put them at the same PSI, but or if I can, I assume his will go up that high. But yeah, that's going to be basically the only thing that would make this a little inconclusive. But we'll get a little bit of a better comparison that way, I think. All right, so 10 miles an hour. Like I said, this road's very bumpy. We have bulldozed across it a few times, and then it's a little rutted up, and then I added some 2s size gravel to it, which definitely didn't help keep it from being less bumpy. But 10 miles an hour was not bad in this. We're probably going to turn around and try at 15. Before I had these shocks on, I ran this road quite a bit one weekend. We were actually camping over here, and I could not do 10 miles an hour on it. Now maybe it's settled some since then. I'll be curious to see what we can do with that. Alright, here we go. We're going to try it at 15 miles an hour. Like I say, the road doesn't look bad, but it is definitely bumpy. It's still bumpy with these shocks, but they are soaking it up to where you can at least, you know, travel this. Before, these bumps were just very violent, is how I would describe them. I mean, you would just hit hard. And yeah, we can even run 20 miles an hour there at the end. There you have it. Now we'll try Dad's Roxor with the stock shocks. Alright, here we go. We're in Dad's Roxor now. Like I said, his is also a 2019 Roxor, but he has a stock suspension. A couple other things, it does have an automatic transmission, and he has different tires. So let's see if these shocks, if we're able to go 10 miles an hour down this road like we did, and then turn around and try it at 15. Definitely feels bumpier. It's not undoable at 10 miles an hour, but it is definitely bumpier. Alright, that was at 10. We're going to turn around and try it at 15, just like we did with my Roxor. One thing about running a test like these, I feel like you're going to be biased if you just spent money on shocks, which I did. So that's why I wanted to show the cab footage and the footage of the shocks actually moving, so you guys can form your own opinion on whether or not you think these shocks actually smooth the ride out or not. Alright, here we go again. Try it at 15 miles an hour. Definitely a lot more, definitely feels more violent. There you go, you guys can form your own opinions on whether or not you think the shocks are worth it. To me, it feels like it smoothed the ride out quite a bit. You can still feel the bumps, and it does not ride like a Razor or a Ranger, but it rides a lot better. So there you go, folks. Thanks for watching this video, everybody. I would like to thank Diesel Freaks, the company that helped me pick out the leveling kit. They've helped me a lot with accessorizing this Roxor, and they've been great for customer service anytime I've had questions. So thanks to them, guys, and thanks everybody for watching. If you liked the video, don't forget to thumbs up it and subscribe if you haven't. Leave a comment, tell you what you think of the Roxors, and if you're in the market for some merchandise, check out farmfocus.com. We do have a sale running on hats and t-shirts, so check those out, and yeah, we'll see you in the next video. One thing I did forget to mention, guys, I did take my Roxor off-roading the day after I got done installing the shocks and leveling kit, so I didn't have a camera, just my cell phone, so there is going to be a little bit of that footage at the end of this video.
No, you just, it's not where it's not locked in. Just the front isn't either, because two tires are spinning. You might have to. I guess your rear end might be bottomed out. Man, I thought you was gonna get it. You can try to get a little run for it, maybe. I don't know. Oh, it is bottoming out pretty hard on the rear end casing.
Might say cheese. That is steep.
Oh, good God.